Hi everyone, it's James here from TSR Jivey Talks Tech. Now, I am in the presence of greatness today. My buddy Jamie has come all the way from sunny Cambridgeshire down to join us to play, quite frankly, to play with one of my new toys. So, welcome, Mr. Jamie Brooks.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, sir. What we're going to do in this video is backstory, just for a moment. A little while ago, a friend of the channel, Greg Larry North Farrer, reached out and said, hey, there's someone giving away a Hammond near you. You don't want that, do you? And I said, yeah. And half an hour later, I was on the road going to collect a Hammond, and it's here, and I'll do some shots, and Jamie will make it sound beautiful. It needed a little bit of work. It needed some TLC, and so fast forward 3 or 4 weeks, I've done my crash course in Hammond electronics, and it pretty much works as it's supposed to work.
Sounds like it works.
Yeah. This is a Hammond B200. It's not a B3 or a C3 or any of the really desirable ones, but it is a proper Hammond with proper drawbars, and it makes that proper Hammond noise, a bit like this. I just want to go, tonight at the Phoenix Club. One for the English viewers there. So what we thought we'd do is do a video on recording Hammond 3 ways. And because this is an electronic Hammond, it is pretty much a standalone thing. Now, it's a dual manual, what's the phrase? That's a dual manual drawbar organ thing. It's got presets, but let's not go anywhere near those, because that's not what makes this thing cool. So at the moment, we are literally just coming out of the mix out of the Hammond. And the mix out allows you to blend both the top and bottom manuals into one signal. I could take them out as independent, but we're not doing that because for what's coming later, it makes it more relevant. So just play us some stuff. We're going literally out of the Hammond into a DI box and into the Neve 1073 preamp, and it sounds like this. It's that brilliant noise. Now, the thing we're missing here, obviously, is the speaker emulation. And by that, we mean a Leslie. Now, again, we'll come on to that in a bit. But we can fake that in Pro Tools. So we're going to use the rotor speaker emulation just to, we'll play that back. We'll play that same track back with the glory of a bit of virtual Hammond. It sounds really good. Now, we were talking kind of off camera about the fact that it's a very different technique, isn't it? It's playing an actual Hammond is very different to playing a virtual Hammond, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is a real treat for me because this is my first time actually playing on an actual real...
An actual Hammond organ.
Yeah, it's usually like keyboard approximations of Hammond sound. So
yeah, but I mean, obviously, the Hammond keys are keyboardy, aren't they? They're
yeah, they're more like you'd find on a non-weighted keys, or they what you call semi-weighted. But they're perfect for things like doing glissando, so you don't cut your hands apart.
Trying to do that on an 88-note weighted.
Yeah, and I have done that, and I've got the battle scars to prove it as well.
So that's kind of like, like technique number one. We're coming straight out of the Hammond, straight into the DAW, and we've emulated the Leslie. I found in a collection of random things the other day, this bad boy. This is the Lester G by Electro Harmonics, and it is a rotary speaker emulator. So we're going to try this. Now, the cool thing is that this does all the stereo-ness for us. It also gives Jamie control, and that's a good thing because it's foot switch control as well. So you can either turn it on and off, or you've got the speed and the brake on a pedal, which is cool. So we're going to set it up and see what we can break. So we've now got the Lester G, which is very noisy as it turns out. Don't play, because the level differential between the two is blinding. Yeah. The Lester G going through into a pair of the iBoxes going into our recording platform. I'm going to kick it back in. And we've now got the sort of control that you'd normally have on the Hammond control, but now on your feet effectively. So a little bit of drive, the volume's sort of reasonably up, slow, fast drum speeds, attack, sustain, balance, squash. And squash. Let's have some of that. Yeah. Give us some of that and see what we end up with. I almost feel that, other than the fact it's quite noisy, that's cheating, because this and this are a great combination. I think there's a little bit of grit squeaking in somewhere, but
it's part of the retro.
Yeah, I like the drive on this. I like the fact that you can change the acceleration speed. So when you kick in the faster speed, the faster rotation, you can change that. You've got a lot of control on this, as opposed to well, what we're going to talk about next, quite frankly. But this is cool. Should we move on to the big guns?
The big one, yeah.
Right. Just before we dive into the big guns, while we've got pedals out, I thought it might be quite good fun to get really bonkers. So I've brought up the Epitome 3, again by Electro Harmonics, and this has got, it's basically 3 really cool pedals in one. So you've got a reverb, a modulation, and an octaver. Now I'm not going to worry about that too much. I think if we did it on the bass side and we were splitting the outputs, that might be fun.
Yeah.
But if you want to put it in a real space, this has got quite a nice spring reverb in it, but this now sounds like you could be in... I'm liking I think the chorus might be a bit too much, but I'm loving the reverb in front of the Leslie, which again, you'd normally want your reverb and things after all your kind of speaker emulation effects, but that works really well in this case. Right, that was just aside. The big guns. So, this also came as part of the package. Now, most people would think of this as a Leslie speaker. This is actually the English equivalent of a Leslie called a Sharma. Now, I'm struggling to find any actual information about them. It looks like, from the little bit I found on the web, that they were sold as kits, in kit form. But effectively, it is a Leslie speaker. In the top section, you have, and I'm going to go rogue video here, you can see the two horns that if Jamie presses the button, rotate at either high speed or, it's almost like he's programmed, on a kind of, you can stop them, or you can go on a low speed if you go all the way to the left, which is very cool. And then down at the bottom, you have the drum, which is the low frequency speaker, which is driven by a 12-inch Celestion, I think in this case. And again, that will run at high speed or medium speed or stop. They're a very mechanical thing. Now you can hear there's a lovely amount of kind of background noise coming from this thing, which is absolutely epic. But if Jamie lets rip, we're using a pair of Amethyst, JZ microphones Amethyst for the top. So we've got one on this is actually the back, believe it or not. So we've got a JZ Amethyst on the back, another one on the front, and a JZ V11 in the like the bass position, if you like. And this is all the microphones at the same level, and it sounds biblical. Hit it, Jay. That is
squelchy.
That's proper Hammond noises. Now, I've seen these for sale in other places, and certainly you can pick up a Leslie or a Sharma or whatever. Those significantly rarer, but you know, it's one of those. I couldn't say no. I'm not very good at saying no. And then when it makes those sort of noises, I mean, it's probably too much for this studio. It's just for physical space. It's quite a big chunk of thing.
Curtains twitching over there.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's bonkers. It is going to find a home with a buddy of mine in a studio up the road because I don't know. Half of me says sell it. The other half of me says, no, what a thing for practically no money. It's cost me, I think 50 quid for new belts for the cab and a little bit of time, and because it's an electronic thing. There's no integrated circuits. I mean, there are a few, but not many.
It's semi-portable as well. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite B3 or C3.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it sounds like a B3.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
But it's definitely got a thing. And again, we were saying kind of beforehand that you could put a Hammond, a fake Hammond, electric drums and silent stage kind of environment, everyone's mic'd up and DI'd and stuff, and it would sound great. However, if you recorded this real drums, real guitars, real bass, and you could play exactly the same notes. There's a difference. There is a difference, and it's something to do with the way that sound builds up and does its thing, and all the kind of
just more organic that way.
Yeah, organic's the right word. Even for an electronic instrument, it's way more organic than a sample or a library or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're going to put a pair of room mics up at the back somewhere. We'll use the Vanguard V44 for that, and then we'll blend that in and see if we can get, variations on a theme. So close mic sound, room mic sound. Yep. Maybe play some drums with it as well and see what happens. But give me 2 seconds to do that, and then. So to give you some idea, the Sharma is this end of the studio by the drums, not trying to rattle too much. And to give you some idea of the state we've left the place in, the V44 is now kind of most of the way down the room. And this is how it sounds. Maestro, please. That is, I always want to say biblical, but organs always have this kind of ecclesiastical kind of overtones and stuff, but that sounds epic. Jamie, thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a real treat to come in and play this real Hammond.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say legend has it these things were quite big on the kind of the northern club circuit, because for organists to play at Phoenix Club, it's half of me wants to keep it here and enjoy it. I think that thing's getting better the more it's used after.
Yeah.
I don't think
like starting up an old car, isn't it?
Yeah. It's now. There is some mechanical noise to it, but I love that. I think that's one of the
part of it.
Yeah. I think of the three solutions, the far from the least practical, but probably the best sounding.
Yeah.
I think the pedal solution is
It's a good
really
compromise. Yeah.
And actually, if you've got an electronic keyboard which has a half decent Hammond sound, but you don't like the Leslie, that's a really cool option. And to have a pedal control and stuff is really cool. The DI with the software version, obviously, it makes it infinitely more tweakable later on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But there is something about this. Both of us have gone, it's doing that, it's giving the fizzle. I don't even know what that word is, but so I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please do like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the stuff that we asked you to do. Is there not a bell sound on this? No, for God's sake, no. Please do like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. It really does make a difference. And thank you again to Jamie. I'm waffling now, which is quite usual, really. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.